EA Sports. It's in the game.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that haters,
Hey everybody, it's the coach.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, it's the 47th meeting of the AFC and the NFC as they battle in the 2020 NFL Pro Bowl game. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They'll run with the Rams' Todd Gurley. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They try right side here, Gurley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Here's Breeze to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. And that's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a 1st.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. James Conner, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the AFC has taken the early lead. So the AFC, they won the Pro Bowl the last couple of seasons and off to another good start here.
Yeah, how about that? The first touchdown of this game, how many more do we expect to see?
Hopefully a lot. I want offense in this ball game.
I don't think there's any question about it. Rarely do you get defensive struggles in the Pro Bowl.
This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down, it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
They fake the give. Here's Breeze. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Breeze to his Saints teammate Thomas for the NFC first. Now Breeze. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. This is Elliott. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's NFC football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Breeze going to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. But with his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing that more and more. Guys are doing a better job of catching the ball at any size coming out of the backfield because they need to be a full part of the offense. And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Well, this defensive unit certainly picked a great time to make a stand. Back-to-back sacks, starting with 1st and goal. Have to believe that they'll continue to bring the pressure on 3rd down.
There's Breeze. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. George Kittle from 6 yards away. And the NFC just an extra point away from tying up this game. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You going to yell at me? You go cover him.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively,
well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Mahomes to throw on second down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they've changed plays when they see certain sets. A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
The offense for the NFC back out there. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case,
trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And this one will be brought back to the 22. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
To go here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. Now Mahomes throwing on second down. And Hill with it over the middle. And they'll get this down to the 10. Mahomes finding his fellow Chief Hill for the AFC first down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn into big plays.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
He's looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Travis Kelce, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the AFC has retaken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead. And always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result,
a breakaway for Michael Thomas. 20, 10, touchdown. Michael Thomas, 75 yards. And the NFC has once again taken the lead. That's what we want right there, CD. It's a Pro Bowl. Give us some of these long touchdowns.
We want plays that cover a lot of ground. We want long-distance plays, whether long-distance runs, long-distance passes. It doesn't matter. In the Pro Bowl, big plays are what we're all looking for.
Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Mahomes now on first down. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. Caught, Kelce, left side. So we are at halftime of the 2020 Pro Bowl with the NFC on top.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. So let's get right.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And that's going to be incomplete. Oh, Patrick Peterson, the shutdown corner, was there on the coverage.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is...
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's scooped up by the NFC. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, zero nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Third and long, it's Wilson being chased out left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jadeveon Clowney able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
He completes it to Julio Jones. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It's a big play for the NFC. 30 yards. Boy, that's some kind of effort. When he caught it, I doubted if he could get there. Knew it was going to be close, but credit him. Really good effort.
How about the rack on that play, the run after catch? But most of the time we think of it as just being an open field and picking up yardage. Sometimes you have to be real physical in order to gain the yardage you need for a first down. When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers. On that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he will carry this one in. Touchdown NFC. Ezekiel Elliott punching it in from a yard away. And the NFC able to widen their advantage.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The AFC offense making their way back out. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the
touchdown. James Conner, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the AFC able to cut it to within a score. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Myers connects on the PAT. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. We become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible because right now he is wrecking things for them.
It's the NFC with the lead and the football as we start the 4th. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Here's Wilson to throw. Flush to his right. And that's incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, and it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around, locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and an AFC touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
Well, it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's right.
Anytime we have
That's
a
right.
defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
Extra point up and through by Myers. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And one thing you'd like to see in a Pro Bowl, a competitive contest. We've got that just like the last two seasons, a one-score game as we play here in the fourth.
What I'd love to know, what's the discussion on the sidelines of both teams right now? Because, you know, it's an exhibition-type game, but as you said, as competitive as it is now, these guys are going to want to win. There may be some guys who sub some guys out, trying to get back on the field and try to help their team win down the stretch.
So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done. The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And that player was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And out across midfield, down to the 45. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Wilson, going to throw again. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying,
and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Von Miller able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
we've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to do it with pass protection and the line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The NFC's decision to go for it does not pan out, and as a result, possession switches hands. AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the fourth quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and not have to live with that for the rest of the year.
Again, it's Connor. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. Throwing is Mahomes on third. And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
The offense for the NFC back out there. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Back to throw. A quick throw, but incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
He'll find Thielen work in the middle. Well, they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A very solid gain of 27. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
Now Elliott. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. 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 I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
I think we can figure out why they went for 2 there, right? Up 1, you want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. Back out is the AFC offense. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. They'll look to throw. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Mahomes going to go on fourth down. Now a desperation throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it past the 20. And he's going to bring this one back for an NFC touchdown.
I have to believe that in a Pro Bowl situation, we talk about these defensive backs during the season, that they're educated gamblers. They take the education out of it. They just go for the football here. Hey, try and make a big play, and if you get one, you really look terrific in this game.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. One final try from Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And all the way down to the 39. So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the regular season because sometimes teams don't play against each other. And, oh, by the way, no one got hurt. There's the win for everyone. I think the fans enjoyed this one.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip,
Some Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throw it blind in my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Hey, everybody, it's the
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Arizona Cardinals. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. Ingram's got the first down and more. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, 75 yards, and the Ravens have taken the early lead. Wow, first play in the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And this offense on your screen, one of the guys who knows how to win football games, Larry Fitzgerald.
Plenty of athleticism, but plays the game with incredible intelligence.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Murray, Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Escaping the pressure right. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And boy, down a touchdown already, but they're going to line up to go for it on their side of the field. And here we go on 4th down with Murray. And he's got his man. It's the tight end play. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
Murray going to throw over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald from 10 yards out. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route-running ability.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Play action. Now Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. DJ Swearinger, a sack on the safety blitz. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson, steps away. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
All right, let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one. Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead.
Give me that ball, defense! Give me that ball! Give me that ball, defense!
They do go for it. It's Murray. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 13, and how about that? They're able to convert on 4th and 10. Now Murray is complete to the tight end Clay. These two teams all tied after one. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession as they've got it with second down and less than a yard. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Left side here, caught by Clay. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Called that a very strong gain of 24.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Good job.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's a first down throw that's complete. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down.
Oh, now Murray has it stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
From the gun on third down, Murray. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there at 22. Throwing now is Murray. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Here I come again. Go, go. Here I come again.
They're going for it. It's Murray. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Ravens